When I first heard about Starbucks, I was really excited to try their coffee. However, when I saw the prices, I was shocked and gave up the idea. That was the moment I realized the power of branding. People were buying Starbucks coffee for the brand, not for the taste. And I confirmed this myself when I finally tried their coffee. First, I was taken aback by the exorbitant prices and then frustrated to discover that their coffee was inferior to the cafe next door, which was half the price. Years later, I realized that the hype around Starbucks' famous product was just curiosity fueled by movies and the relentless pursuit of a cool Instagram photo. No one really wanted to drink coffee there. In fact, Starbucks sells a brand and an experience. There are other coffee shops out there, but none are as cool and trendy as Starbucks. Comparing Starbucks to Tim Hortons in Canada, the preferences for the Canadian coffee shop. According to a Coho survey, 74% of Canadians prefer Tim Hortons, and one of the reasons is the price. While the average order at Tim Hortons is $4.12, at Starbucks, it goes up to $5.41. Although it doesn't seem like much, if consumed daily, it can make a difference at the end of the month. Nevertheless, Starbucks has become the largest coffee shop chain in the world, so popular that in major cities in the US, there is one on every block. Currently, the company has about 80,000 stores in 80 countries. In terms of market values, in the food industry, Starbucks is only second to McDonald's and Subway. The company has become important on Wall Street, and its CEO, Howard Schultz, has been a source of studies on business and marketing. It was with Schultz that the company saw its best years. Many believe that without him, Starbucks would never have reached the level it did. After all, it was he who turned a simple coffee shop into a multinational and built the Starbucks coffee culture. However, the company is facing difficulties currently. It has a long-term debt of nearly $24 billion in 2022, more than double after the pandemic, when the food industry was one of the hardest hit by the lockdown. A series of factors, such as lack of products, employees, and inflation, make the company's life increasingly difficult and put it in decline. In 2022, the company suffered a 35% drop in stock value, according to Forbes data. Although Starbucks made its name with the employees' first advertising campaign, things have recently been a bit shaky. The company faces significant financial and operational challenges, as Starbucks employees have had full health coverage since 1988 and even own part of the company's stocks, but in recent years employees have started to unionize and the relationship has been strained. Now, for the third time, Howard Schultz needs to return as CEO of Starbucks and solve the problems, but it seems that this time things are more complicated than before. So how did a coffee shop manage to reach this level? There's a fascinating story behind the coffee giant known as Starbucks. It all started in 1971, when three coffee enthusiasts, a writer and two teachers, opened the first store in Seattle, selling coffee beans imported from all over the world, freshly roasted. The name Starbucks was chosen in honor of the character Starbuck from Moby Dick, and the logo was inspired by Nordic illustrations of a mermaid. In 1982, a young manager of a Swedish kitchenware company, named Howard Schultz, tasted a cup of coffee at Starbucks and was impressed with the quality of the beverage. He joined the company as director of retail operations and marketing and began offering Starbucks coffee beans to restaurants and cafes. However, Howard wanted to go further and suggested that the store offer freshly prepared coffees, like the Italian cafes he had experienced on a recent trip. The founders of Starbucks didn't agree with the idea, so Howard decided to open his own coffee shop, called Il Giornale, which offered freshly prepared Italian coffees, all produced with beans from Starbucks. The citizens of Seattle loved the idea and began visiting the coffee shop regularly. In 1987, Howard bought the Starbucks brand and turned it into the Starbucks Corporation, quickly expanding to other cities in the United States and opening branches in Chicago and Vancouver. By 1994, the company had 425 stores spread across the United States and was opening its first drive-thru and licensed store at the Seattle airport, gaining even more visibility. With success, Starbucks launched its shares on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, reaching a value of $273 million by the end of trading. By 1995, espresso had become a major trend in the United States, and Starbucks was investing almost exclusively in this new way of making coffee. How did a coffee shop reach this level? To a large extent, this is due to the innovative recipes that the company launched, such as the famous Frappuccino. This mixture of frappe and cappuccino, acquired by the store to complement its menu, ended up becoming a huge success, responsible for generating $2.5 billion in annual sales for Starbucks. In the summer of 1995, the Frappuccino would account for 11% of sales and win an award for Discovery of the Year. The following year, Starbucks would reach 20 million people being served on all United Airlines flights and would open its first store outside North America. The company would continue its expansion around the world, with more than 34,000 stores spread across the globe. However, currently, Starbucks faces several challenges that affect the customer experience and, consequently, the brand's image. The food industry as a whole suffers from inflation, supply delays, and worker shortages, and Starbucks is no exception. Additionally, even before the pandemic, the company was already struggling with a lack of cups due to a shortage of raw materials and factory workers. With the port shutdowns during lockdown, the situation worsened, with millions of products stuck. The lack of products such as chocolate and almond milk has also affected the availability of some beverages. Another problem faced by Starbucks is the high demand for online orders, which represent about 80% of sales. Although technology aims to facilitate and streamline the purchase process, it has negatively affected the in-store experience, which is the company's main objective. Additionally, online orders often arrive in large quantities and cause bottlenecks that employees cannot handle in a timely manner. In the face of these challenges, the company has sought ways to reinvent and adapt to market changes. In 2020, company executives were already suggesting plans to reinvent or reimagine the coffee shop concept, and these plans have certainly become even more important in the face of current challenges. The Starbucks digital system is a problem, as it allows many orders at the same time, creating a bottleneck that employees cannot handle in a timely manner. Additionally, the system allows for endless beverage customizations, further delaying the preparation process, including a 14-ingredient drink that is famous on TikTok. The lack of menu options, loss of identity, and preparation time for online orders are also a problem. Additionally, Starbucks has been struggling with a lack of employees, losing more than 60% in just 1 year. Although the company emphasizes that its primary law is to take care of its team, and that they do not have employees, but partners, this is not the current reality. In 2021, Starbucks had only 138,000 employees, a number lower than what the company had in 2009, despite claiming to care about its team. Recently, Starbucks employees in Buffalo, New York, voted to form the first Starbucks employee union, starting a movement followed by other stores across the United States. With unionization, employees seek the power to negotiate rights related to benefits, wages, schedules, grievances, workplace policies, and even a daily limit on online orders. However, the company has been trying to suppress the movement, closing stores and conducting a witch hunt against unionized employees, even threatening former and high-level employees. To contain the situation, Starbucks has turned to Howard Schultz for the third time to temporarily assume the CEO position. Schultz has already announced that he is ready to take on the union, stating that the minimum wage increase to $15 an hour would be fulfilled, but future increases would only be for non-unionized employees, as it is prohibited by law in the United States for a company to make good or bad changes to its salary structure without negotiating directly with the union. Some authorities on the subject believe that Schultz may be acting in bad faith, as there is room for debate and interpretation within the law. In addition, Schultz made strong comments against the union, stating that he has no intention of cooperating and referring to unionized employees as subcontractors. These comments led the Starbucks Workers Union to accuse Schultz at the National Labor Relations Board, as his words are considered illegal and do not protect the rights of unionized employees. This has resulted in a real internal battle within the company, which is still far from being resolved. In summary, Starbucks' current situation is complicated, with a lack of employees, problems with managing online orders, and the fight of unionized employees for better working conditions. Former CEO Howard Schultz's attitude of not offering wage increases to unionized employees has created even more tension within the company. This internal war could have negative consequences for both employees and the company as a whole. What do you think of Schultz's attitude? Do you think he is right, or are employees just demanding their rights? Leave your opinion here in the comments. If you like this video and want to receive more content on business and current events, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Infinite Insights channel. See you next time.